Camera stop.
Well, good morning, and good afternoon, all you beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Grant Sprint Live. I am your host, Ty Renee Wood, CEO of BusinessGrants.com, and I am super excited about how much you are going to win from these grants that we're applying to. All right. So if you have not just in case you have not been a part of the 3-day grants and contracts challenge, let me tell you what happened this week. I got together, collaborated with Dr. Stacy Lang, the CEO of United Federal Contractors, and the billion-dollar contract specialist. When I tell you she's the expert, she's the guru, she's the goat of the goats. She brought so much value and so much access to things that we didn't even know. And guess what? We are going to do a live grants and contract submission sprint next week. So I know some of y'all are probably wondering exactly what I'm talking about. Well, I'm going to tell you, I know that I haven't applied for a government contract in about a year now. Well, no, it's been about 8 months. So I'm going to sit in on the program as a student and a moderator because I have my nonprofit organization too. And we're going to apply for 6 to 12 grants in 3 days. Oh my gosh. So Here's what I'm going to do. We're about to go through and we're going to submit one. And this is basically Grant Sprint Live, 3 hours each day, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But with professional help that someone is putting your proposals together, and all you're doing is logging in and entering in what the grant writer already put for you. You're just going to be submitting, and we're going to do this together. Some things we're going to submit for you. And all of the things that we're going to do next week, you will have professional specialists walking with you along the way. So I see Miss Lynn is in the house. She just made her payment, and guess what? She is in next week. We're going on a grant sprint, y'all. We're talking about submission, grants, and contracts. So welcome to the 3-day intensive, because that's going to be intense. It's called an intensive because it's going to be intense, y'all. And it's not something, it's not for the faint at heart. I'm gonna do this. Here's what I'm gonna do. I want to give you guys the opportunity. So Stephanie, as we are applying for grants and as people coming in, I want you to put in the chat the link to the 3-day intensive. Lynn's already in. I don't know if anybody else is in, but I'm in. I'm going to attend my own 3-day intensive because I still have a nonprofit that's thriving. But y'all, we need to get back to the millions of dollars that we used to get. And so I'm going to be applying for grants and contracts myself next week at the 3-day intensive. So the link is in the chat. Now we're about to apply for some grants live, or at least 1 or 2. Sometimes we get to 2. But look how much we get accomplished in just 1 hour on Thursdays. Imagine what's going to happen Monday, 3 hours, Tuesday, 3 hours, Wednesday, 3 hours. Oh my goodness. And it's not just grants. We got Dr. Stacy Lane, who's going to be helping us apply for contracts. You know, she said we in the 4th quarter gold rush. What does that mean, the 4th quarter gold rush? Well, the federal government, they closed their books on September 30th. That's not December 31st is not the end of their year. And you already know there's going to be a government shutdown. It just comes with the territory. So what are they going to have to do in the 4th quarter? They got to get this money up. Here's the thing. With the government spending, the reason why they're able to shut stuff down and prove that you didn't need it is because you didn't use it last year. So certain departments, they have to show that they're going to use that money. And so this quarter, more than any quarter since I've been doing this for 18 years, this quarter, they got to get rid of this money because they got to show this president that we really, really need this money in the government. And if they don't cut, they're going to cut it. Hey, they don't want to cut it though. They don't want to cut it. So why not get in on this government contract gold rush? I'm in. And I didn't realize this. I haven't gotten a federal contract in a while. I get local and state contracts. I have a current contract with Fulton County Arts and Culture. Fulton County Arts and Culture. You go to their website. Hey, everything I'm telling y'all, you can verify it on the government's website because every time they give a contract or a grant, they have to publish it. So all you have to do is look me up. Georgia Department of Education, we got awarded, and then now we just got another award, 6-figure award that we just found out about a few days ago. Thank you, Hilda. That's a hand clap right there because, man, it was actually hard for us to spend the money. I really did not. When people used to ask me, Ty, how could I used to go to these conferences and people would say, I got this extra line item. I can't seem to spend it. I understand what they're saying now. People do not understand. When you have government money, they tell you This is what you can spend on this. Here are some restricted things. This. And so the things that you really want to spend it on sometimes fall on the restricted bucket. So you actually cannot spend it on that. So what do? We increase the line item for staff, for supplies. Like these are things that are allowable, right? And then but here's the thing. If something happens where like the location closes down, that's what happened to us last year. The school closed. It was a charter school. And we had gotten funding to do after school program in that school. And we were like, oh, scramble it. We got to find another school. And we didn't find another school till like 3 months later. So what happened to the money that we had for the first 3 months? Extra money. So we had to now reallocate it. So that whole process of reallocating funds is such a long, tedious process. It's like, no, let me just find an after school program to spend this money in so that I don't have to reallocate it. And that's what we did. We found another after school program to do our program in. And that's how we was able to stay within our allowed expense bucket without having to reallocate or give money back. I'm not giving no money back. And we had the same situation happen for the summer. The same situation this summer. Well, one of the locations had to close down. And so we had to scramble trying to find another summer camp location. Who got summer camp? Who got summer camp? We are going to bring our summer camp to you. And we will pay your staff and my staff. And we will use the grant funds to do that. Man, people was knocking our doors down. Now we got too many summer camps. So we're in there. So this is why community is so important. If you are not a part of my school community or my school, I see Blake is in the house. Thank you so much. Or the nonprofit guys team is in the house. Here's the thing. When you are a part of a community like that or like ours, what happens is you can leverage other people's grants. Leveraging meaning like, oh, you need certain services, you have it on your line item. How much do you have? Okay, I can do it for that price. Oh, well, you can fulfill a need that I have for my grant, and I can give income to your business. I had marketing as a line item for our back to school event. So I was like, okay, well, who can I find who can plan this thing? Because event planning was on a line item on the budget. And if you was in my community, I mean, I put it on all the time. Like, who does this? if you ever in the community and I'm asking that, trust me, there's some dollars behind that question. So make sure that you are logging in at least once a week or twice a week to see what's going on in the community. And then we connect other organizations to your causes. And let me tell you something. I get calls from corporations. Hey, do you guys have we have a true story. I can show you the email. Chase Bank has a literacy program. They literally was asking for programs to do their literacy in, and they will bring support, grant money, and a literacy curriculum to your program. And I was like, what do I know? Of course I know some programs you can go to. This is national. This is Chase, JP Morgan Chase from the headquarters. I think they're in Delaware. But at the end of the day, my job is to get resources to your business or nonprofit. And I'm the resource queen. I'm the resource queen. And people come to me with their resources because they know that I can connect them to. They want their resources to be in your program, and you want their resources to be in your program too. So just stay locked in. Don't lose sight of what we're trying to do here. Okay? Now, I do want to see you guys in the 3-day intensive next week. if you are serious about applying for grants and contracts and doing it with myself and Dr. Lang, I don't know. Well, I know for a fact it's not going to be 1997 again because I mean I shot myself in the foot with that price. You guys, it's $5,000 to hire me as your development director, fractional. I'm talking about fractional. You get 20 hours a week with that. So that's 5,000. So just letting you know, you get in 9 hours of grants and contracts, and we submitting. We're not teaching. We're not teaching much. We're going to go over what it is, like what the grant is, what the contract is. You want to apply for it? Let's go. We're applying live. And we're going to do it all over and over again. Okay? So that's my 15 minutes. All right. I can step off my soapbox now. It's time for us to apply for some grants. All right, grant for today. Now, those of you who have a question in the chat, does it have to be in the same state? Does it have to be in the same state? Are you talking about the program that I was saying that needed funding? So if you're talking about the program that I needed to find funding for or a resource for,
yes,
that specifically had to be in Georgia, yes, because this was through the Georgia Department of Education. However, this JP Chase thing, this is national. This is national. So if you have a financial literacy platform, let me connect you with Chase, okay? I will connect you. Just make sure you're in my community so we can have some wins. We need more wins. Do you have a financial literacy program? Connect. School.com/business grants. Okay? School.com/business grants. It's super easy to be connected and stay connected. I didn't used to be a connector. Before I used to be, I don't want to say a gatekeeper, but I kept to myself, y'all, because I have a very high level of excellence that I operate at. And a lot of people don't match my excellence. I'm sorry. It just bees like that sometimes. I know I'm using my Cali swag, but sometimes it is like that. And I do not recommend people that I haven't seen their work. So if I don't, like, I just gave a shout out to the nonprofit guy. I've seen his work. I've been to his programs. I sat in on his classes. I know he knows what he's talking about. So otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about his program on my platform. You don't hear me say that. You don't hear me do that because I am very particular about who and what I promote from my platform. So just know I'm looking out for y'all. All right, the first grant we're going to go to, I'm going to put it in the chat. Oh, type 1 in the chat if you have for-profit business, and 2 in the chat if you have a nonprofit, and 3 in the chat if you have both. So 1, 2, 3. For-profit, nonprofit, both. Let's see what we have in the room while I am pulling up this grant. Okay. You guys type 1 in the chat. Type 1 in the chat. 2 or 3. All right. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Okay. So, Bo. Now, the second thing I need for you to do is to type your industry, the business industry or the nonprofit industry, like housing, food, access, youth, like the industry and your city and state. That's the next thing I need you to do. Your industry and your city and state. Okay. The first grant we're going to apply to is a super easy grant. And this one it's really a contest. But it's through AT&T, so might as well go ahead and get it done, get it out the way. We are going to apply live, and I am going to copy this link into the chat. All right, so it appears that we have all ladies in the room. Well, you know what? It's the ladies that's been showing up. It's real. It really is. It's the ladies that's been showing up, and it's probably going to be the ladies that show up next week on a 3-day grant sprint and 3-day grant intensive too. Grants and contracts. Grants and contracts. Most likely, it's going to be predominantly women because we've been showing up for our businesses lately. I'm noticing that. That's why I did the She Gets Funding Summit. When I did the She Gets Funding Summit, I was like, I want to do this because women are the ones that's underrepresented in the funding bucket. I want to show them different ways that they can fund their business non-dilutive. I don't know if that's a word, non-dilutively, but in a non-dilutive funding is what we have a hard time getting. So as grants, contracts, um, sponsorships, anything that doesn't dilute the equity in your business. And even some business debt, if you can get it at 0%, right? But what happens is we get in our own way. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you some resources. We're going to apply. Did I put the link is in the chat? All right, click on that link, and I'm going to share my screen with you. And let's apply for this grant first. And those of you who are over here, you need to be over here. So the way that you get over here is by school. Yep. It's school. You got to go to my school in order to get on this live. Everybody that's on this live is either in my school or Blake's school. You cannot get access to this link any other way. Grant Sprint Live. We are applied for every Thursday. And guess what? Dr. Lane has agreed to add one. She's like, I'm busy, Ty. I said, I know you can't do every week, but can we do a contract sprint live? And can we get once a month? And I think I can convince her to do it. How many of you want to do grants and contracts? Well, we are applying for grants and contracts. Woo, yes. All right. So when you clicked on the link, let me make sure you have the link. This is like directly to the application. Everybody should be on this page. Okay, that should take you directly to this page. All right. I have to focus on sitting upright. I've been slouching recently, and I can't have that. Oh, let's go back to the grant application. All right. So before proceeding to this application, confirm that you can answer yes to all the questions. Are you nominating a small business, yours or somebody else? Yep. Does the business have 99 employees or less? Yep. Is a small business registered in the U.S.? Yep. Are you or the small business owner that is being nominated 18 years or older? Yep. Have you reviewed? Yeah, we did. I did it for you. I'm nominating my own business. We going ahead and go ahead and fill out your personal information about the business. I'm going to put some dummy information in there. I'm going to do it for Business Grants Inc. But of course, because I'm live, I can't put everything. You're going to put LLC or S corp or C corp, whatever type of corporation business type that you are. All right, or if you are sole proprietor. Name, your business phone number. This is all public information. Goodness, I forgot my business phone number. Somebody tell me what my phone number is. um, okay. We are applying for this small business grant. This grant is for the for-profit side because almost everybody said they have both. So this one was particularly for the for-profit side. All right. So I'm gonna also put the link in the chat again. Or Stephanie, can you put the link in the chat again for those who are just joining us?
I click the link, Ty, and it says is this for nonprofits? I on the Q&A and it said yes. So am I clicking a different link?
Wait, you didn't. Does your page look like this page? That's why I'm showing my screen. Does it look exactly like this page?
Let me check one more time. Let me click that link. Hold on.
Click the link because what I did was I copied the link that I'm on directly instead of going to the home page. I don't know my birthday. Businessgrants.com. 4. Wait, how many staff I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it's just us. Okay, so you're going to need to put proof of small business registration. So what you're going to do, super simple. You should already know this, but we're going to go over to the Secretary of State. Now I'm going to go over to the Secretary of State for my business. Hey, all of this is public information, so it doesn't matter that you can see my registration because it's public anyway. You should be able to look up any business. I'm on the Georgia Secretary of State website. I'm going to type my business name, Business Grants, Inc., and there we are, active and compliant. Y'all better understand that that if I didn't do it for myself, I would be a hypocrite. So I will do the business formation, download that, boom. I just downloaded it. You see how fast I got that information? Some of you like, well, I gotta go check my files. No, you don't. Run over to the Secretary of State real quick. I got it downloaded. I'm about to go back to the application. Oops, where's the app? Oh, here it is. Going back to the application, and I can upload it. That took me 30 seconds to do. This is why you need hand holding. Some of y'all would have been stuck right there. Like, oh no. Now, this also will be an eye opener for some of y'all if you have not renewed your registration this year. It's going to say non-compliant and it's going to say inactive, and you're going to have to pay that fee. So whichever one it is, just know, be ready. All right, so this business opened January 24. This is the entity of the business. Of course, I've been doing this since I'm saying 18 years, but honestly, it's longer than that because when I think about the jobs that I've had that are in this field that has prepared me for leading up to opening my own, then it's been 25 years because I started working in this industry when I was like 3. Some of y'all gonna get that. Some of y'all gonna get that. All right. So it was super easy to get the information for your registration. Now we get to the essay question. Don't be shy. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your small business. Now, here's the thing. These questions I can do off the top of my head. I can do it off the top of my head. It's only 3 questions. Well, 2 questions. 2 essay questions and an optional, which I would do the optional too, especially if you have photos. Some of you have photos. I would definitely upload that. I have a letter. I'm going to take a picture of this proclamation from the governor that I have on my wall. Okay? I want to do that. and submit. And we would have submitted this application in what, 10, 15 minutes? Here's the thing. Some of you guys like, well, I'm not really that good with writing. You've been using ChatGPT for what, 2 years now? ChatGPT should know you by now. If it don't know you by now. Okay, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you already know I got a song for just about everything. So just know that I'm going to break out in song at some point in my talk. Okay, we are on ChatGPT right now. Before we put the questions in, ChatGPT needs to know what grant you are applying to. But here's the hack. You do not just put, I'm applying to a grant. Here are the grant questions. Answer these. That's what some of you probably intended was about to do. Pause. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to go back to that grant question. I'm going to open another tab. How do I get rid of this? How do I minimize this thing? Can I hide this floating meeting controls? Okay, there we go. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I want to copy the link that I just put in the chat. Oops, where is that? Where are y'all at? Oh, I just hit the thing. Now I can't find it. How do I find y'all? Oh my gosh. Oh, there you guys are. Here's what I'm going to do. We are going to go back to that. Remember at the beginning, it said, did you read the guidelines of this grant? Well, technically, we really didn't read it, and most people don't. But here's where you're going to read it. You're going to take the grant application. We got the grant application. I'm going to copy this link. I'm going to open it. So go back to the, we're going to open the link again. And where it says, I want you to do something. Here's how you answer the questions the right way, meaning how they want to hear you, how they want to hear it. I'm a great grant writer, guys. I believe that I could write this without using ChatGPT at all. But it's a tool. It's a tool for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the guidelines. Where are the guidelines? Where are the guidelines? Okay, here we go. So, okay, apply now. I'm going to copy and paste the link to the guidelines specifically because I had to click on a few things to get to it. Okay, it asks here, contest rules and regulations. That's what I was looking for. And it has its own contest rules. Control, copy, Control A, you'll see. All right, I'm going to drop this in the chat. As soon as I find y'all. I'm always losing this thing. Okay, do me a favor. You're going to say, go back to ChatGPT, and you're going to say, I am applying for this grant, and then just paste the link to the guidelines. Here's the hack. Now, this is in my grant prompt guide. If you don't have it, it's super easy to get. businessgrants.com/bundle. businessgrants.com/bundle. And you'll get the ultimate grant, the AI grant prompt guide. And that guide, I have it in my head. So yes, I am about to apply to. Am I moving too fast for y'all? Are you tracking? Right? We on the same page, right? I'm a I'm not trying to move too fast, but we only have 50 minutes. And I was trying to get to 2 grants so we can apply to 2 grants. If you are looking to apply for a grant live with us, you need to come over to the school community and click the link in the calendar, and you will be able to join us live and apply for this grant live. All right, I am applying for this grant now, based on what you know about me and my business. Now, I'm inside of my business folder, so some of you might need to put the name of your business here, but I'll just go ahead and put the name of my business. Answer these grant questions and stay within the character limits and guidelines. Now I'm going to go back to this application. I'm going to copy those 2 questions, go back to ChatGPT, paste. Okay, I'm going to pause right there so you can see the final prompt. So I'm about to apply for link to the guidelines of the grant. And based on what you know about me and my business, answer these grant questions and stay within the character limits and the guidelines. So, by the way, you see, I copied even the character limits because ChatGPT can get a little chatty. I will have a 2-page proposal if I didn't put character limits. All right, so I copied everything. And now we're going to hit submit and see what we have here. And I pray that one of you or all of you win this grant because you deserve it. You deserve this grant. All right, while we're waiting on ChatGPT to think, any questions? All right, we got a hand up.
Yes, quick question, Ty. Thank you so much. The book of prompts. I remember when you first came to Blake Nation, you had or Blake had posted it in our resources, and I just with all the plethora of resources, where is it again? Because I can't find it.
Um, did I? So I did give it to you guys. Okay.
It was part. It was
Um,
when you first came to
is
Blake Nation, you had a book of prompts for us, and he gave it or posted it in a Friday freebie or something for the executives. I remember.
yes for the executives. Mm-hmm.
And I don't know where that resource is because it's somewhere posted somewhere.
Okay, check with your community manager. What's her name?
Aria, I think. Aria, maybe. Or Zari.
Zari.
Zaria. Zarina. I'll check with
I was thinking
Blake.
it was somebody else, but
Okay, Nesta, maybe?
Zari's here.
Zari.
Yes,
Um,
I'm here.
okay. Can you check with Blake to see where the I know I sent it over. It's called the AI grant prompts. AI grant
Okay.
prompts. And so it should be it with the executives in their resource guide, but it is a plethora of resources. That's a good thing, but you get
Yeah,
lost in those resources. Um,
thank you.
and maybe we could just like push it back up to the top
And
because they're
pin
going
it
to be
and
needed
pin it. Maybe pin it.
or pin it. Yes, yes. It's called the AI grant prompts.
Okay, let me
Okay, thank
see.
you.
Actually, you have here like general AI prompts for grant leads MG. Is this different?
Nope, that's not it.
Oh,
General, it's not called general. Is the ultimate grant prompt guide or something like that.
okay, I'll check it
Okay,
with the
she'll
other
check on
community
it
manager. Okay.
and get back to you. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions? Wait, what happened to ChatGPT? It don't take that long. It's thinking or let me repost this. Let me make sure I don't have it on that model that thinks too much. It needs to be on instant. I was using that, was 5.2. Oh my gosh, it was thinking way too much. Make sure you have it on instant. Look, this don't make no sense. It shouldn't be thinking so long. You see how it says instant, medium, high. It starts to think. It's starting to think. This is getting me like annoyed. I don't want you to think. I want you to. That's what I keep telling it. I'm like, no, I didn't pay you to think. I paid you to do. Oh, my chat GPT gonna be mad at me. I just hope it don't go all iRobot on us. Okay, we're gonna redo this prompt. Did it come up for anybody? Because for some reason this page is super slow. All right. Did anybody get an answer for their grant application that they wish to share? At least number one, question number one.
So this is instant. When you apply for this grant, you can get the results instantly if you
No,
want.
no, 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 no. I was talking about ChatGPT.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, no, no. They have to review. They
Right,
have to
right,
review
right.
all the applications.
Right, I got it.
Yeah. So the deadline is coming up in just a couple of weeks. So what I normally do, rule of thumb with grant applications, take the deadline as the first day. The day after the deadline as the first day for review. So it can take between 30 days to 120 to 6 months. It really does depend on the organization or foundation or corporation that's hosting the grant. And by the way, here's my answer, and I'm going to read it. So Ty Woods is the founder and CEO of Business Grants Inc., a technology-enabled funding platform created to help small business and nonprofit access grants, government contracts, and other sources of capital that have historically been cut or difficult to find and secure. See, that's honestly, I really wish my platform was working properly, but businessgrants.io is where the technology sits, and it sometimes is a little sketchy for me. So I'm still working on it, but just know I'm working on it. After spending years helping organizations raise millions of dollars through grant sponsorships and government funding opportunities, I saw a recurring problem. Many great organizations were not failing because of lack of vision or impact. They were failing because they lacked access to information, relationships, and funding opportunities. So Business Grants Inc. was created to solve that problem. Yes, our mission is simple: democratize access to funding and opportunity. Our vision is to become the nation's leading platform connecting entrepreneurs, nonprofits, and community organizations with the resources that they need to grow, create jobs, and strengthen communities. Through our platform, training programs, coaching, and technology tools, we help founders identify funding opportunities, improve their readiness, and develop competitive applications. We serve entrepreneurs who often do not have dedicated grant writers, development staff, or government contracting experts. By removing barriers to funding, we help organizations focus on what they do best, serving their customers and community. The impact extends far beyond individual businesses. When a small business secures funding, it can hire employees, expand services, invest in technology, and create economic opportunity. When a nonprofit secures funding, it can serve more families, launch new programs, and strengthen the community it serves. Every successful funding award creates a ripple effect of positive impact. A $50,000 grant will significantly accelerate our growth. and expand our ability to serve underserved entrepreneurs and nonprofit leaders nationwide. The funding would be used in three key areas. First, we would enhance our technology platform. Second, we would expand educational resources, training, and support systems. And third, we would invest in our outreach and community engagement initiatives. This investment will allow us to scale our impact. Now, this said approximately 470 words. Now, did it say 470 words or 470 characters? Okay, great. 750 words. Perfect. I'm going to paste this because now people say you shouldn't blindly paste. You shouldn't blindly. Now, I believe that if you have not trained your, I call you trained your pet. If you have not trained your pet, you should not take it out. My chat GPT is a well-trained pet, okay? It's a pit bull that I can take off the leash and it will not bite you. Like that. So I can 92%, 92% of the time, I can basically take what it wrote and paste it. 92% of the time. And this is one of those times. Okay. That's a well-trained animal because it's a big beast. When done right, when trained right, you can have a tool that gets you the right answers. Now, if I win, I'm going to share it with y'all. I'm going to share it with you guys. You guys that's on this call. Not y'all. Y'all are not on the call. Y'all. I'm going to share because you showed up. Everybody else is in all these hundreds of people in the school community, and you showed up. I have thousands of people across my platforms who know that I do Grant Sprint Live every Thursday, but you showed up. And for that, I applaud you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and paste the second answer. I'm just going to blindly paste it, to be honest. I'm just going to blindly paste it. Oops.
I love showing up to your events because you always have a nugget somewhere, even if it sounds like I've heard it before. You know how it is when you read the Bible, you read the scripture one day, and the next time you read that scripture, it's like, oh,
I
it's
didn't
saying
see
something
that.
different. It's hitting different today. So you go for me. I appreciate you, and I'm praying for you.
Thank you. And I appreciate that because every prayer for me is like a win because let me tell you, it's very challenging to to like there's so much noise out there. And my prayer for my communities are that in this community and all the other communities that I'm connected to, that they are getting accurate information because there is so much noise and false information about this topic alone, grants and contracts, about this topic alone. And when I hear it, I'm not messy, so I don't jump in the chat and start talking to people about what they shouldn't be saying. But some things, I just be like, God, people are following. Oh, I forgot to put my address. Ha, I'm glad it stopped me. All right, I'll do that on the opposite end. Did you guys submit yours? We might have enough time to do one more. In the school community, in the school community, in the Business Grants AI tool, I have something, I created a tab called Easy Grants. And in the Easy Grants tab, these are grants that, by the way, my amazing grant assistant, she found Easy Grants for my organization. These are the type of grants that they don't have a website. She found these grants. These people have like newsletters that gets emailed out to people. And she found them. And they have 990 PFs. by the way, if you give away money in any form or fashion, you have to file as a private foundation. You have to file a 990 PF. And that 990 PF is public information. So I can know that you have a very wealthy family because you gave away $1 million in grants, even if you don't have a website. And we found some of those grants. We found some of those foundations. Those foundations that are well hidden under a rock. But we found you, foundation. We found you. And what she did was she contacted them. Like, there is a phone number and an email and a website. I mean, not a website, an email, a phone number, and an address. And they were like, "Oh, just send us a letter." I'm sitting there like, people still write letters? Yes, people still write letters, and there are foundations who are waiting for your letters. So what I did in my platform was created this letter generator to put, let's say I'm just randomly selecting one. So I don't even know if they have a website or not, but if they don't, okay, this one actually does. And they're in Chicago. Anybody here in Chicago? Okay. Let's see. We go to their website. Let's see, maybe Miriam No Foundation, Chicago. Sometimes we just gotta see. Oh, they guess they didn't pay for their website. They guess they didn't pay for their website. So I gotta update that. But that doesn't mean that they're not giving away money, because look what they did. Look, this says that foundation gave 100 grants totaling 1.6 million, with the median being 10K. Who could use $10,000 right now? This is what I'm about to do. We go. Make sure you submit the AT&T grant. Don't forget. I'm gonna come back to it. That's why I'm leaving it open. And then we're just gonna try to get one more grant in. So they gave away 1.6 million. And so this is what I do. I will pick up the phone. If there is a phone number, I will pick up the phone. This is development. So if you are in nonprofit and you're a founder, this is what development is all about. Building relationships with the money, with the funders. You're building relationships. There's times when, listen, I don't like going to people's houses. I don't like going. Sometimes they be like, "Can you go with me to breakfast? Let's talk about your foundation." Okay, let's talk about your organization. Okay. And sometimes you might have to sit and listen to their boring speeches and their family history and all of the things that they want to do in order to get the donation. I mean, don't be sitting there like a bump on a log. I mean, engage. But my last 6-figure grant check, which was about 10 months ago, with a private foundation, I just had to sit on the phone and just listen. Yep, just listen. and listen to the speech about their mom. And the mom was the one that was wealthy. Millions was left them with millions, tens of millions of dollars. And their mom said that they cannot get their inheritance unless they give away 10% every year from the foundation, from the trust. They have to give it away. So he asked me, "Can you help me give this money away?" I was looking like, who asked somebody, "Can you help me give this money away?" So sure enough, this is why I need for you to stay connected. Okay, that was a 100,000. They told me they were gonna give me 100,000, but when I wrote the letter, I asked for 125,000, and they said okay. That part that was in October last year. Now this is the same place to say, "Can you help us find some?" Of course, I can help you find other arts organizations. Of course, the other ones that I referred, they're about to get their $100,000 check in like 2 weeks. And there's more. I just need to find the right, and this is the thing. I'm not referring them to no junk organization. I'm referring them to those organizations doing the work, working hard, but they really do need the funding. But they're still showing up for the community. I'm recommending them. So, would it be possible that you are still in analysis paralysis, that you're not working your nonprofit? You should be doing something. Start off with a workshop on Saturdays or something. If you're working full time, I understand. I was working full time when I first started. I was working full time. So what I had to do was I took my break. Now this is when I just started, and my very dear friend, Tamika Foster can tell you this because I helped her with her nonprofit when she first lost her son, and we honored him by creating this nonprofit called Kyle's World, and she wanted to do a 2-week camp in the summertime. Well, I was still working full time at the time, and I was like, okay, here's what I'll do. I'm going to not go on any vacations so that during that 2-week block, I can be present with you in the camp and the kids. And that's what I did. And sometimes all you need to do is start off with like a 1-week program, a weekend program, a 2-week program, something where you can actually have proof of concept. Guys, you need proof of concept. And that's how they're gonna fund you. So this place, they will give you $10,000. Anybody in Chicago? look. This is apply to write a letter. Write a letter. That's what they're saying. Write a letter and ask for anything between 1,000 and 40,000. That is a big gap. You can ask for $1,000 or you can ask for $40,000. So based on their 990, which I have right here, based on their 990, ask for 10,000. You don't want to shoot too high. You don't want to shoot too low because you're going to ask for $1,000 when they would have gave you 10. Or you're going to ask for 40,000 and they're like, oh, this person wants too much money. And you're not going to get anything. All right. Last question. Not so might as well apply for it if you're in this area.
I was just curious. I would yesterday you talked about establishing an entity outside of where your state registration is, and so in order to be able to receive what you're that funding, whatever from that fund from that foundation, I would have to do a DBA in Chicago, correct?
So yes, this particular foundation is only funding Illinois. So it's Illinois. They're based in Chicago, but they are funding in the state of Illinois. So you do not create a foreign entity just to go after a fund. You will not get it. You need to have programs in that state.
Presence there
in that state. They're looking to fund measurable outcomes.
Okay. So your KPIs need to be already evident in that particular geographic location. Got it.
Outcomes.
Okay.
Outcomes. So if you are this particular funder, they're focusing on health, primarily cancer research. But if you got public health, look at they said in there, medical outcomes. Medical outcomes. You might have an all natural, holistic approach to proving, and it's proven that it improves the health of someone who may be undergoing cancer treatment, or is proven to prevent cancer in some way. I don't know how you prove it, but research can do that. That's how and they fund research.
Okay.
Which means you're gonna have to have a PhD on your team because that's research. And here's the thing: if you can document the outcomes, money will start finding you.
Right.
If you can prove that your natural, holistic, non-medical solution can improve a person's hair after cancer treatments, skin. Oh my gosh. What?
Okay.
They will find you. They will find you. And I'm telling you, you start publishing your articles, they're going to say, well, I read this article about some of the things that you've done in your research. This is pretty incredible. Could 100,000, could $1 million help that?
Wow, you really blessed me because I now that you're talking like that, I can go back and even though my nonprofit has not had all the, the beta testing and everything, I have that work experience that I can still pull those outcomes from and publish that information because I
Mm.
did that. I spearheaded that, and so I don't have to lose it and start all over and rebuild the will.
Oh my gosh. You guys use that job that paid you for the outcomes. You better go back and get those pictures if they allow you to use those pictures.
Get it?
That job that whew, some of you guys were like in breaking all kinds of barriers, and you did it. They did it with your brain. It was your idea, but of course, you working for them is their idea now. Is their information. However, what they cannot take from you is the results. You can
Or
say under my
your
leadership,
intellectual capital. Sorry to cut you
it
off.
your intellectual capital. You can say based on the research that I led this research team. I led this program. Yes, it was with this particular company, but I led that initiative. And they need to know that you led that initiative because those results that they got under your leadership can also become the results that you get under your own leadership, under your own nonprofit, under your own for-profit. You have to use you. I always call it like this: drop the mic on yourself. If you know what I mean. When people say I dropped the mic, like I need you to pat yourself on the back as much as you can inside those grants. Pat yourself on the back. We have oh, I thought I had some flyers with me. We were getting ready to go to some sponsors to really figure out we only have a certain number of sponsors that we can give because we are our sponsors literally are almost full for back to school because we have one of the largest back to schools in the state of Georgia. So people come to us, but we still have a few spots left. So we were like, okay, who do we go to and what do they want to know? Okay, they want to know how many people are going to be there. Of course, we can tell them what we already did. Let's pat ourselves on the back. Oh, yes. Every year we have contributed to and by the way, when we were with Atlanta Public Schools and we brought in the kids zone, their traffic increased from 2,000 to 10,000 people the very next year because we added entertainment and a kids zone. And we drop the names. We dropping names. Yes, the school district, the state of Georgia, the city, the governor, the mayor. Like we dropping names and we patting ourselves on the back. We gave away last year more than 4,900 backpacks and school supplies and over 500 teachers, 500 educators. No, it wasn't just educators. We also gave supplies to public service workers, bus drivers. We had bus drivers come and get wipes. We had a pallet full of Lysol wipes. We had bus drivers saying, "Can I get wipes for my bus?" You sure can. Them kids is nasty. They hands be nasty. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a quick question for you. Can we do a session for the executives just on obtaining not to, put grants, on the back burner, but that 360 goods 360 thing that Dr. Lane was talking about? I want to dig into that because she said that there was one more thing instead of like just she was talking about Home Depot and other big box stores, but she said there was one more thing that she was um getting ready to mention, but it slipped her mind. I was like, man, I just wanted to pick her brains about goods
Oh no, you
360.
don't. Dr. Lane is not a part of this.
Okay.
And
Okay.
So,
Okay. I got you.
the best way
Okay.
is to get in on that 3-day intensive and let her do some grant and contract work for you.
Okay. And that's something we have to, that's a different fee than what we get from executives. We have to pay for that. Is that $97?
It's 1,997, 3 days.
Okay.
It's VIP day. So you get VIP. It's equivalent to a VIP day, but because we can't stay the whole day, we broke it up over 3 days. So it's
Mhm.
9 hours with myself and Dr. Lang. And we are not teaching you. We are submitting grants and contracts with you live. Next.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Difference. That's a strong difference. This is a teaching moment. We apply for grants live. Our 5 minutes over. I do respect you all's time. Thank you so much for joining me and being entertained by my antics. Thank you all. You guys hang in there with me every week. I appreciate it. So we applied for AT&T. We applied for a random foundation, and now if you want to know how to that same information that you sending over to AT&T, you can just have it revise the letter for you, create the letter for that foundation or any other foundation that you want to write the letter to. And yeah, we will see how that turns out. Let me know when you win. All right, thank you for great another great round of
Thank
Grants
you.
Live. I am your host, Ty Renee Woods, CEO of BusinessGrants.com. Make sure you follow me on all platforms at Ty Woods Get Grants and at BusinessGrants.com. And on our school community, it is school.com/businessgrants. Thank you all.
Thank you.
See you next Thursday.
Mhm.